Hey Pisces, it's Jen here. I'm doing a mid-July check-in for 2020 for the sign of Pisces. Using my Chrysalis tarot, I'm really digging these colors. We have a nice gentle rain outside. Oh, it's so peaceful. Let's clear just to make sure there's no energy from the last reading. Take a deep breath. I hope you're doing well. I don't know why I have my placemat down here. I use it when I do outside readings on my table out there, but that's okay. We'll just go with the flow. Go with the flow, Pisces. Go with the flow. Let it go. Let those things come and then just flow right out. Acknowledge those thoughts and then let them go. Acknowledge those feelings and just let them keep. Just like I've heard someone say, you're standing by a river and you see a leaf. You know, the leaf, you follow it, comes down, comes by you, and keeps going, and eventually, and it's out of sight. It's just letting those bad vibes and negativity, you can see it, you can acknowledge it, and then just let it keep right on going. Okay, let's look at the bottom. 7 of Stones. Patience. Patience with yourself, patience with others, patience with your own limitations. A pause. She is in somewhat of a protective posture, sort of hugging herself, protecting herself. She almost has a sort of barrier around herself. I don't know if she's protecting the water or if she's not seeing behind her. I don't know. This is a different interpretation than, for me, I'm just getting a different vibe from the traditional 7 of Pentacles. Needing more patience. All right, let's look at some of the other cards. The King of Cups. So here you are, the King of Cups. So the King of Cups struggle is, it's learning to, for all water signs, it's learning to be, you're ruled by water, by emotions, and being able to, just like I was talking about with that leaf, acknowledge them, but not let them control you, not have your actions driven solely by emotions. And that's the challenge of the court cards and all the suits. So the fire signs have to be able to, they want instant gratification and they get all excited about something, but then once that initial passion fades, they're done, they're out. They're like, this isn't fun anymore. So their challenge is to stay motivated and stay invested in something, even when it's not quite as sexy and exciting as originally. The swords, their challenge is to balance their thinking, to not overthink, to not only think clinically and not use their heart and their emotions and their passions and to be more balanced in that way. I don't feel like going into Pentacles. Here we have a Pentacles card, though, another Pentacles card. Well, we do have a lot of Pentacles. So the challenge for the Pentacles cards is to take some chances, not get too fixed, too stuck, too immersed in the tangible, physical world. 3 of Stones. This is good teamwork. This is a meeting of the minds. This is people coming around a similar thing that they're passionate about, this fire, right? We're just talking about fire signs. And, but it's good teamwork. Everyone, it's nice and balanced like this. The card just looks nice and balanced to me. there's clear expectations. Everyone's playing by the same rules. There's no emotional manipulation. There's it's a good teamwork atmosphere. What's this last card? I'm still trying to. The World. I think Aquarius just had this. This is a new phase in life. I'm almost read this in this deck as like the Death card, a transformation of one way of life to a new way, an enlightenment. It almost looks like they're standing on the sun, not the earth, or that's maybe the fire, the core of the earth. Those look like butterfly wings to me, and that transformation. But there is a strong earth energy, right? The World. Being of this earth and grounded, yet soaring and experiencing life as well. So Pisces, earth energy. So the challenge of Pisces is the fantasy, the kind of not being grounded, is one of the challenges specific to Pisces. And you have all these you have yourself, the King of Cups, and he's going to achieve feeling his emotions, following his emotions, but not having his emotions rule him and being emotional and things like that. And that will happen by being grounded, being balanced, finding ways to be more patient, to breathe, mindfulness, working outside, doing things to calm you, finding ways to, just like the fire signs need to be able to learn to sustain, to calm their fire and sustain it. The water signs need to calm their emotions and be able to sustain it instead of being, oh my God, I'm mad. Whoops. And then I'm not, I'm depressed. I'm like the highs and lows. So finding ways to stay centered and grounded and calm and breathe and relax. And you get an email that seems angry or threatening or accusatory, and instead of firing back an equally, a matching email because they hurt you by that, you sit on it, you ask your sword friend to read it, to strip the emotion out of it, because you realize that's not productive, and my emotions are my emotions. I infuse into all situations my childhood, my point of view, my experiences. And that may not have anything to do with the other person. I may be totally reading into something because the tone is hard to read. And so I'm filling in my tone instead of the person's tone of that email. I think it was Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. They told a story on one of the podcasts that they had a rental property and someone had cut a lock to get in and whatever, caused some damage or something. And so Kristen was like, oh, do you know how they could do that? And Dax instantly said he got upset because he felt like Kristen didn't think he was a good enough. He values being a protector and being, his vision of quote unquote manly and aggressive, like that's conditioned into him. And she was like, no, I just know, like, a lot about cars and mechanics. And I was just literally physically wondering how that lock could have gotten broken. Like she had no blame at all. She was actually looking to him for his expertise, to understand, like, okay, how did this happen and how can, so we do that all day long, every day. And really, really accepting how much of our own story we put into relationships and interactions that cause conflict because, again, of this backstory that actually has nothing to do with this other person, and they're doing the same thing, and no wonder no one gets along, right? So trying to have that perspective, trying to understand those things, trying to do grounding, trying to not think so personally, um, is really, you're going to be very successful um, if you look into really incorporating those types of techniques into your life and into your relationships. Okay, Pisces, thank you for joining me. Take care.